Hello, everybody. My name is Frigid Hyperion, and welcome back to the Wilds of Wildemount campaign. This will be session number 42 now. This is part 1, and joining me today is Dawn playing as Soren, Rocky playing as Edward, Kale playing as Brine, Lily playing as Windchime, and I, Cameron, am always playing Moonzik. And then giving us an important announcement is our dungeon master, Miss Emily. The floor is yours.
Man, I tell you what, it is so hard to plan all of these adventures that we have. I just wish that somebody would do the work for me. I feel like I always want to have like this swashbuckling combat, but I spend all of this time flipping through the DMG and flipping even through the player's guide. And I just feel a little bit of a lack of inspiration for this really cool idea and this kind of game I would like to play. Oh, what is this that just got emailed to me? Oh, right, I completely forgot. Homie and the Dude and their swashbuckling combat overlay for D&D 5th edition with airships, spaceships, sea ships, land vehicle combat for both IRL and for VTTs. Their mission is to build, and trust me, they have built a dynamic, fun, simple, strategic, and highly adjustable system to tailor for all DM and PC appetites, from super crunchy to mostly RP based combat. They set out to create a fun and simple dynamic system that complements and doesn't overwhelm traditional 5e player combat. Sometimes, as we all know, theater of the mind can leave a little something to be desired. And finding the maps that you actually want to use is, well, more than time consuming. So this combat system overlay for D&D 5th edition will allow you to experience those epic air, sea, and spaceship battles that you've always dreamed of, while also being able to make meaningful tactical choices. If this sounds like something interesting to you, don't hesitate to use all of our links and all associated descriptions to check out Homie and the Dude's Kickstarter. Uh, Not only did it have everything that I've previously mentioned, but their bag of treats gives you exactly what you need. From a PDF with dozens of pieces of original artwork, and if you join the Kickstarter early, you can become an official playtester to have your name even included in the PDF. Dozens of custom sky-based feats, dozens of spells, creatures, and magic items, and even a sky battle map for especially for VTTs. With GM and PC Zephyr combat trackers and high-res artwork and game-ready stat blocks of those Zephyrs and their crews. Not to mention STL files for printing 3D models of multiple ship crews. And of course, their super cool and easy to use custom ship builder. If any of this at all sounds interesting to you and you want to stop lounging around dreaming about all of those countless hours spent scouring the internets for, the smallest modicum of advice, check out Homie and the Dudes uh, Sky Zephyrs Combat Overlay Kickstarter. That's right. Plus, if you actually do save the link that is associated and then use our link later on to sign up and donate to their Kickstarter, we get 10% of the profits, which sounds like a pretty good deal to me. So, once again, thank you, Homie and the Dude. For now, I'm going to send it over to Brian for our session recap.
Hello, guys. Um, Last episode on the Wilds of Wildemount, we got to explore the first place I saw in the material plane. But things weren't quite as I remembered it. The portal tree had been cut down, and the entire area was suffused with corrupted wild magic. After doing some research, we confirmed the theory that portals could be created by poking holes through the plains, and that area was close to the Feywild via our lovely and very useful, and thank you for this so much, broker, Rose. After that, we got into a little bit of a fight with a blight tree and had to burn down the remaining live corrupted wood in order to prevent it from spreading. Confident in that we had learned what we could from that area, we continued on, only to be met by dangerous assassins on the road who portaled in front of us. We got a little bit of a drop on them, and managed to close the portal behind them and stun them. But when we went to question them, they all committed suicide. Now, here I am monologuing while digging a grave to put one of them in. That's really hard.
Moonsick wants to check over the corpses one more time, and they had crossbows, so there should be some bolts on them, I believe, right?
There are. They do have each of them has as you're going through right before you bury them one more time, notice the aforementioned crossbow, and you notice as you're going through for the crossbow and their bolts, that they did not bring a large quantity of bolts. You see, in each of their packs, there is only 3 crossbow bolts in their quivers, and 1 loaded for each of them.
Moonsick wants to carefully unload the bolts that are in there and then take all the ones that he finds and hand them to Windchime. Here you go, Windchime. I figure you'll make better use of these than I will.
Yeah, thank you.
Please add please add 12 assassin crossbow bolts to your inventory.
Ooh. And then Moonsick also wanted to inspect the daggers that came off of the bodies as well.
So how are you in, like, what do you mean inspecting them? What are you looking for?
Looking at any like markings that might indicate anything. Otherwise, just like looking at their overall strength and usefulness.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check for this.
20.
Okay. Your experience with blades is unique. Having spent most of your life at one end or the other of one, uh, you examine the daggers that they have in hand. Each one of them has you notice a small uh, emerald embedded in the handle, and it kind of fills you with a little bit of like just a deep sigh. You can pick whatever emotion it makes you feel, as they are reminiscent uh, to in fact, they are directly um, related to the secret order of people, assassins um, and whatnot, that your mentor had been not directly a part of, but had been infiltrating, if that makes sense. So you're familiar with these, but as you are well aware,
So not the thieves
it
that she's originally a part of, but the
no
like what?
the people put in protection.
Yeah.
Um, you you also notice uh, a oily coating on each of their blades.
Oh.
I should back to the identifying feature um, of them. Um, you know that it is only identifying to those who know about it. If you were to say, put this in evidence for, uh, hey, this is these people, um, they're explicitly designed to be discreet, right? That it could just be any blade, but it's a subtle hint, if that makes sense. So that there's no particular identifying traits to those who are looking from the outside in, but from the inside out, you can absolutely tell that these what these blades are for.
Okay. So
Additionally, they have that oily coating on them.
yeah. So they're. I'm confused on what the oily coating is. Is that like a poison or?
I don't know.
Roll a medicine check
Oh,
on that to
gotcha.
identify if it's a poison.
Oh shit! I forgot to roll disadvantage.
Can
Fuck.
I roll?
That's fine. A lot of the information I was going to give to you anyway, so
Oh, okay.
we'll just leave it for now. It's say I gave you advantage with your familiarity with these assassins.
So I canceled it out essentially. Okay.
Perfectly balanced. That's how things should be.
Well, I'd like to take a look at this coating later on, but I think I better wait until I've at least had a little bit of rest. So he's going to put these daggers in his handy haversack.
Okay, do that.
Any specific thing you want me to label them as?
No, I mean something to the effect as of like
Assassin's daggers.
assassin blades, royal blade, just so I know where they're from. The only reason that I asked her specifically is so that because she has a higher chance of having um bolts as a trackable item. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Done.
Looks like the rest of you have finished digging this hole. Actually, who was partaking in the digging?
Well, Brian clearly was.
Definitely
Edward
Soren.
kind of has to be.
Okay. As you all dig this grave, what is your intention on depth? I know this seems like a silly question.
Shallow. Yeah, we want to give them proper burial, but we also don't have a ton of time.
Okay. As you finish digging the shallow grave for these two bodies,
Plus, if
um,
for whatever reason they want to check our authenticity, they can find it pretty damn easily.
are you putting a marker, a gravestone of sorts?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, having finished up the burial, you see the small mound in the ground uh, with a nearby large stone to mark its head. Um, Edward, you cast your Tensor's floating disc, I presume,
Yep.
and load the leader onto it. as you begin making your way to Nicodranas. Is there anything else regarding this area that you would like to go over? Clarifying points, anything like that?
Um,
Uh, oh,
as I'm putting them in, the family don't have any way of still getting information out of them. Same, none of them would talk to us.
Is anybody able to reanimate them at all?
Not within my skill set.
Hmm.
DM, would I know of any spell that would allow us to speak with dead people?
I mean, you've certainly
speak with
heard
the
of the
dead
spell. There's an entire
don't pay attention to that. That was accidental.
it's an entire field of studies that is not necessarily looked highly upon at the university, but one that must be studied nonetheless. Uh, but yes, there's many different ways. If you want specifics, you can roll me an Arcana check.
I think I will. That way I know what we need for said specifics. Arcana.
With an 8, I mean, resurrection gets talked about, at length in terms uh, of studying. Uh, that would be a surefire way to get a response from them. Plus, you gather since their poison has already been used, it would cleanse them of that, and they wouldn't have access to that one more time.
Be really expensive though, right? Because I don't think the ones we have access to would work anymore, right? The Revivify has a time limit.
Well, after spending so much time with digging the grave, I think it's way past that point now.
Any further stronger ones, I think, are too expensive to be realistic.
So not within our skill set for the time being. Damn.
Should have thought about that earlier.
Well, what's done is done. We'll be prepared for next time they come across us.
Wait, you're like saying it's gonna happen again?
They're after me. So, one way or another, they're probably going to find out where I am again, and they'll try their hand again.
I wouldn't
I
exclude the
guess.
possibility that we're all liable to be targets now that we know the information of, Moonzig's true identity. I'm assuming the royalty, or at least the organization that dispatched these assassins from Ank'Harel, would know that this particular information is dangerous within the hands of people uninvolved in these particular affairs and only see us as a threat to them.
Well, let's not be that hasty. We don't know that they know everything we do, right? Here's
I'm
what we know. They know who Moonzik is. They knew where we were going. I mean, I'm not sure how they'd know that, but perhaps with the use of a spell or otherwise, they know where he is, and we would be targets by association, but they don't know what we know.
And what we
Apart
know
from,
is that their first attempt at sending an assassin party after me through direct portaling has gone quite awry. It was an abysmal failure on their end.
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, the locating part of it was a success, but the 3 assassins that tried to end my life were dealt with swiftly.
I would like to see this also as a tactical attempt as to gauge our particular strengths, weaknesses, and identity of those that are associated with you in the group. They could have been sent as a sacrificial, you know,
I hate to agree with that, but
scout.
take a look at how much stuff they were sent with.
Not very much.
This was a if you make it back, good. If you don't, we didn't lose anything kind of attack.
I wouldn't exclude the possibility that they would specifically start sending more people with specially trained abilities in order to effectively counteract our own from this point on. Every single onslaught that they throw in our direction is another opportunity they get to learn from us.
And I expected at some point, with the deeds that we're doing, we would have assassins sent at us, but I didn't think it would be them this soon. I'm frustrated and I'm angry, I'm worried, and I'm most of all I'm tired. I think we should get going.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of you continue off.
We're taking the the lead assassin, yeah?
Correct,
Yeah.
on the on Tensor's floating disk.
Are we
Um,
stripping all of their weapons? The daggers, crossbows, everything.
yeah, so uh, the crossbow bolts went to Wind Chime. The daggers went to uh,
Moonzik.
Moonzik, and the actual crossbows themselves. Well, I'm assuming they're in somebody's bag to sell.
Yep.
Um, with the body of um the lead assassin um trailing behind you. You all continue your journey to Nicodranas. You imagine if you continue to travel at your current pace, you'll probably make it there um, by morning, but a lot of the day has been delayed from the assassin's attack to uh, this morning's venture uh, into uh, the blighted cavern. Um, Regardless, you press on. Evening starts to pool in the sky, and you all um, know that you will have to make a decision. Are you going to get there to Nicodranas in the morning by traveling all night long? Uh, or are you going to stop here for a rest?
As much as I think we could make it throughout the night, I think we should stop. I am extremely tired.
Yeah,
I really want to keep
go back
going.
and get your eyes.
Nicodranas is so close. I
I
miss home.
I know. And it will be there in the morning.
Alright.
Finding a decent place to camp. Um, who is looking for a camp location?
I'll do it.
Uh,
Okay.
while
Since you're
we're
on
while
the
we're doing that, can I ritual cast Find Familiar again?
oh, sure. Um, As Brian, you look about the area for uh, a half decent spot. Roll me a check. Whatever skills.
Well, we're gonna go perception again because I want to break my curse with it. Yeah, okay.
As you're glancing about, you do see um, a small clearing in front of like a small pond of sorts. Probably only 10 to 15 feet wide. Uh, you find a spot that is just barely big enough to fit everybody's tents, and a place for a campfire. Tight squeeze, but workable.
All right. This place looks like it should work. We should be extra on guard. We don't know when or how they'll come for us next, but
I agree. Let's make some dinner.
As what is everybody doing for their evening activities? Edward, you said that you are making um, use of at least 10 minutes to cast Find Familiar again.
Yep.
Is there anything else that you're going to be doing?
Prepare dinner.
Okay. You are on cooking duty as well. What about you, Soren?
Soren's gonna be pretty quiet throughout all of this, but he's gonna go foraging to just see what he can find.
Great. Wind chime.
She's gonna go foraging for berries and stuff, but also for flowers to make bouquets to like put around our campsite to brighten everybody's night.
Aw.
Moonzik.
Moonzik's gonna be making dinner with Edward. He's gonna use the steaks that are that he get the night before.
Okay. And Brian.
I think Brian's actually gonna be very unproductive. Kind of just worrying about Nicodranas and thinking about things. She'll like half do something or other, but she's mostly just in her own head.
Okay. For those out, let's see. For those out foraging, Windchime and Soren, are you foraging together?
I'm gonna say probably not. I think Soren's gonna go off on its own. Gonna kind of slip away from everyone.
Windchime, are you following? Or are
Maybe
you gonna
like
go off your own thing?
I'll keep an eye on Soren, or at least as far as I can see. But she can sense that Soren needs some space or something.
Okay. For each of you, please roll me a nature or survival check.
Damn.
Okay.
Dang, 23 is pretty good.
So, Soren... Oh, hold on, I forgot it already. With a 16,
Oh boy.
so are we searching for just anything interesting? Anything edible specifically? What are you looking for?
He's probably mostly gonna be looking for anything edible, but I mean, if he comes across something else, he'll take it either way.
Okay. So with that, just looking up the right one. Sorry. Oh, don't tell me that that's not usable anymore. Oh,
Uh-oh.
oh, that sucks. Okay. Page not found anymore.
Womp womp.
Oof.
That's but with a 16, that is technically bum.
A fail.
I've
Let's
been planning on
go.
one anyway, so we'll just use that. Where is it? You find like looking about, you find a while walking down with the river, you find a fisherman's trap. You actually find 3. One of them has caught a large piece of a chunk of seaweed and soil. Another has caught a carp, and the other one is empty. A large
Okay.
carp. But you do gather that these traps, they probably have been here for at least a while. You could use them if you wanted to take them.
Yeah. I'm
But
gonna
you...
take all of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So,
try and get
Traps
the
are also
soil
good.
off the seaweed though.
Hey,
okay.
those are my traps.
I'm gonna take somebody else's stuff, and if they show up, I'm throwing it at them. I don't care.
Oh, like that's how Mariner armor.
Using
That's
the
a Mariner
river,
armor
using the
moment right
river
there.
water, you're able to rinse off the soil from the river weed, and take that and your carp and 3 fisherman's traps.
Dude, that's a certified Mariner armor moment right there. Like, take it, and if no
Oh,
one else
no.
claims it, it's yours. And if they do claim it, no harm, no foul.
No harm,
Finders
no foul
keepers.
my ass.
I didn't know that these belonged to somebody. Jeez.
They were just chilling out randomly in the wild. How was I supposed to know they belong to someone?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe label your stuff. Come on.
Wind chime.
Property of
You hold on. You come across, as you started to venture a little bit further away from Soren, still keeping him within earshot at least, a what looks to be a an abandoned campsite. Huh.
Ooh.
What would you like to do?
How do I know it's abandoned? Like, what gives that off?
You see that there are 2 tents here. one of them, you can see, has clearly collapsed in on itself. You see that there is no fire, and in fact, the little fire pit that they had set up looks almost muddy, as if, and there's no logs in it, if that makes sense. You see that the other tent is still standing, but appears to have like moss growing on it, like mold moss. You know, when you get on the side of old tents that aren't clean, that have been outside for a long time. You know, you get the picture.
Yeah. She'll be like, "Hello, hello, is anybody there?" And wait for a moment to see if somebody answers.
You hear her say this, Soren. We are within earshot.
He's gonna dive deeper into the woods.
Oh, it completely ignored her. No response.
Okay. Well, she'll look around for anything valuable or like useful.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Okay. Investigate, investigate, investigate.
Ooh,
Nice.
with a with a 19, looking around this campsite, you can see that it is probably at least 6 months old, if not old, a little bit older than that, but not quite broaching years, or a year. As you glance about, and there doesn't seem to be any damage that one would presume the cold weather would induce. But rifling through it, you think that you could probably collapse the tent that's still upright, and maybe after a good cleaning, you could take that with you. Inside, it looks like there at one point in time was a small wood mice nest made with the old bedroll that was placed out in here. You find the cracked glass of a solid a glass lamp, oil lamp, that's sitting on a box. Seeing this, it does make you feel that whoever was camping here, while it's technically a campsite, they were staying here a bit more permanently than the average traveler. You do see a few barrels tucked in between some bushes behind one of the tents.
Okay. I'll definitely look into them.
Looking into the barrels, you find one of them is well, actually, two of them are completely full of a sort of oil.
Does it smell?
Yeah, it kind of smells like kerosene.
Oh, okay.
Definitely flammable, not like an eating oil.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm definitely gonna report this back to the camp. Maybe we can make throwing bombs. I know Edward really likes that kind of stuff.
Glancing in the other tent, you find some cookware, some pots and pans, in addition to what I could only describe as a suspicious amount of rope. There was a lot of rope in this one.
like piles of rope.
Yeah, like you think that there is probably like 6 or 7 coils of 5-foot rope. 5 foot. 50-foot rope.
Huh. That's a lot of rope.
About half as much
Also-
rope as the average D&D adventurer would need in a journey on this adventure.
Wow. Edward's little facts just pop up in my brain sometimes. That's really great. She'll pick up one of the ropes, at least.
Picking up the rope, you see that this pile had like seemingly fallen over, and inside of one of the coils, it looks like it had tumbled onto it, is a small bottle, and it's labeled Alchemist Fire.
Oh.
Well, she'll pick that up too. Is it empty or full?
No.
Or is there a cap?
No, there's a cap on it, and as you kind of like wipe away the dirt and debris that has built up on it, it looks like a very like a pretty, I don't know what the color is, a like a amber-ish / darker than amber color to it that swirls around as you spin it in the bottle. Liquid. It's like kind of, you can see through it.
It's
Weird,
like
though.
a kaleidoscope.
No, it's like liquid. Like there's no colors really floating around in it. It's just brown, like the color of a diluted like soda, like a brown soda, like cola.
Well, I will bring this back with me as well. Are there any other bottles or empty bottles that like look like they were making it or like putting it into jars?
No, you only see this one.
Okay. Is there anything else of note at this camp?
Not really. You think
Okay.
you've
I
got
will
it
head.
pretty covered.
Okay, I will head back with one bundle of rope and the jar of alchemist fire. And a pan.
And a pan.
Yeah.
As you make your way back to camp, while those two are off foraging the woods, what are the three of you doing? Planning on cooking, etc.
What are the ingredients available to us from whoever was foraging?
Well,
They haven't come
I would
back
say-
quite yet, technically.
yeah. They have not come back yet from foraging, but it's still your job as custom to start prepping food. You do have whatever is in y'all's inventories. Feel free to discuss.
Beef. Beef
Okay,
is
I'm
good.
gonna start taking what is it? I'm gonna start taking like the little pieces of stale old bread from my inventory, and I'm gonna start breaking them down into breadcrumbs.
Ooh.
And then I'm gonna start getting a pot of oil, like, boiling, so that I can deep fry whatever the hell it is they bring back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Because apparently I have oil.
You have oil.
Okay. Having done all of this, you see Windchime come back.
Guys, I found something.
Is it food? Hope it goes straight to
No,
the side.
definitely not edible. But look, here's this bottle. It says Alchemist's Fire.
You're gonna see Edward immediately, like, go into like a little, I wouldn't say shock, but I'm gonna say, you should probably be more careful holding that. Alchemist's fire is actually a sealed. Well, it's just sealed reactants within a bottle that immediately combusts when exposed. I think it's very
When like
explosive.
oh,
Well, it's an oxidizer, not explosive. But in layman's terms, you might as well be.
yeah. So if I open it, it'll explode.
Well, it wouldn't explode. It wouldn't explode as much as it would spontaneously combust, and probably also hurt.
Do you know what explode means?
Well, I mean, there's exploding and there's combusting. It's an oxidizing agent.
Does it go boom or
So
does
instead
it?
of looking like
It goes whoosh, not boom.
oof,
It goes whoosh and burns off your eyebrows.
Yeah, something to that
mm.
effect. You probably
Okay, well, I mean, I have this bottle. I don't know what we want to do with it. There are also like these barrels back there in this old camp I found that were full of oil, and I don't know if it's the same oil, but it smelled kind of flammable.
Camp.
I mean, oils tend to do that, you know.
It smelled more flammable than a regular oil, if I'm honest. You know?
I mean, the question is what is a barrel of oil sitting there doing in the middle of the woods?
I have no idea.
She said it was in the middle of some camp. There wasn't anybody there.
Yeah, it was like totally abandoned. There was moss and everything. And I found this pan too. She lifts it up. It was the cleanest one.
Well,
So they've been there.
there
So
anything
they
there?
were there for a while if they're leaving a pen around. Probably didn't leave by choice.
Probably not. They also left like all their rope, which was a lot of rope. Do we need rope?
Precious amount of rope. And yes, we need rope. Always need rope.
Okay, well, there's like a ton of rope there. We could probably tie everybody up and still have some left over.
That's very
Nahiri gives you a wink.
Oh.
well then.
Don't worry, I was thinking it too.
It's a joke, guys.
What do you guys think? Something about rope? I mean, we usually do that to captives.
My question is
Anyway,
why.
the point is, what do you mind if we quickly make an excursion out into the woods to see what's going on there?
Yeah, I can totally show you guys where it was. 2 eyes are always better than 1.
Well, I mean, the oil here is still hot. Might as well have dinner first before we go. Do you have any? Did you bring back anything to eat? Any food? And I'm gonna point towards the big bubbling pot of oil.
I actually, I was looking and then I forgot, and then, yeah, I didn't find any food, guys. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's very easy to get distracted by an abandoned camp.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd prefer you get distracted by abandoned camps to not getting distracted by abandoned camps.
Well, where's Soren? Didn't you two go out together?
No, he went off in his own direction. I was like, I could see him for a second, and then I lost him. So he's still out there in the woods.
Really?
Yeah, I think he wanted to be alone.
In that case, should I send for him?
Probably. Yeah, because I was gone. He should be back by now.
Okay. I'm
suppose.
gonna pass sending. Targeting Soren.
I was gonna say, like clockwork, he's gonna walk out of the brush.
Oh, never mind. In the middle of casting sending.
Speak of the devil.
There you are.
Did you even leave?
I'm sorry?
Did you even leave?
Yeah.
Hanging out in the brush to scare somebody sounds exactly like what you do to get revenge on me for absolutely nothing happening.
Well, I hope you brought something back for dinner, because Squincharm kind of got distracted finding an abandoned camp in the middle of the woods. So, if you don't have anything to bring, then I guess we're almost out of luck on having at least a fresh dinner.
I mean, he's got a ton of steak. I've got salt. What do you really need?
Well, if we would like something new, we could do a fish stew or something. I did end up finding a carp along with some seaweed.
Oh.
Oh, you know what? That would be perfect. We can have fried fish for dinner.
He's gonna pull out the carp and hand it to them.
I haven't breaded.
It's a good sized carp.
Well, I hadn't breaded the steaks just yet, and I can just put them back. Good timing.
Well, I suppose I should start cutting these into fish fillet.
Okay, Edward, since you're prepping this, fuck it, go for it. Roll me whatever cooking check you think. Whatever. Tell me what you think would work for it, and then give me a reason why.
I'm gonna roll for survival because I'm a firm believer that survival and cooking are a thing. 12.
12.
Nice.
So you do the best that you can to fillet these fishes, and using your idea from before, battering them up and then frying. Moonzik, what are you pairing with this?
To be honest, I don't really have anything like vegetable wise. I had the dead.
We got seaweed.
Huh?
Close enough. Soren said he brought back seaweed, right?
Oh yeah. If anything, Moonzik was just gonna help Edward prepare.
Okay. Absolutely. In that case, you guys finish up with your fried fish for dinner. And about that time, you sit down for a meal. So, like, were you all planning on going back to that abandoned campsite?
Well, I mean, after dinner.
Wait,
Oh.
what did you find?
Perhaps
Squincharm found
tomorrow. Perhaps.
Oh, but it'll be so spooky right now. Maybe they're a ghost.
I mean,
Or perhaps.
you never know what you can do with barrels of kerosene in a bag of holding.
Why would you need a suspiciously normal amount of rope? There's never enough rope, but why would you need piles and piles of rope and kerosene and alchemist's fire for that matter? I mean, I don't like the idea of alchemist fire and kerosene being stored in one single place. And I can hardly imagine what you can accomplish with that and a copious amount of rope.
The rope almost sounds like a really long fuse to something. Sounds like a lot of fire involved, but I'm not sure for
something fire, something arson. My question is why would they leave all of this stuff unattended? Like, all of this stuff itself. Alchemist's fire is a magical item. It is a sought after
Maybe
magical item that has at least some intrinsic value.
Well, it's entirely possible that they were forced out of their camp, but the question is, what would force them
What
out?
and why would they need to be? I mean, I probably wouldn't need to ask why, considering that they have a load of flammable material. But why were they in the camp in the first place with all of that stuff?
Shall we go investigate and put the pieces together?
I think we shall.
Finishing up your dinner. Um, are you planning on heading out tonight or tomorrow?
Tonight.
Tonight, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Finishing with the last bit of cleanup. Um, who all is going? Could be everybody. I don't care.
Who wants participation?
Like, if everyone, including Nahiri, is going, then Moonzik for sure will go. If Nahiri is staying behind, I think someone should be with her.
I don't mind going. It's not that big of a deal. Or I could stay. I mean, the horses. But it's chill.
Well, do you want to go check out a spooky abandoned campsite?
I think you'd like
Honestly,
it.
it sounds like a dream come true.
Come along with us.
Well, you don't have to pull my leg. She is already standing up.
Okay, here, it's this way, guys. And the Winston will lead the way back
And with
to where it was.
and with the sun surely going down and almost meeting dusk.
Oh, the sun has set at this point.
Then yeah, of course, Moonzik's going to clutch Ghost Eye so he can have his dark vision.
Dark vision, doper.
Imagine needing a knife with
Edward
dark
is
vision.
going to cast Mage Hand and have a produce flame sort of hover around as like a little floating lantern.
Okay.
Ah,
As you all follow Windchime back to the abandoned campsite, you see mostly what as she points out different places to you. You get a pretty good idea of the campsite, i.e., the description I gave Windchime before.
See, these are the barrels, and then in that tent is the rope, and there's obviously no people around.
Still strikes me as odd. And what about that one
I'm
over
gonna
there,
look
that collapsed one? Did you happen to look in there at all?
It looked really gross.
Would someone want to help me look in there?
I'm gonna disable produce flame and I'm gonna poke at it with the Mage Hand because it's pretty gross and I don't want to touch it with my actual hand.
Okay, you lift up the part of the tent flap and peer inside.
Yeah.
Inside of this tent, you find uh, a rolled up bedroll, and a small bit of um, a couple of boxes or things that are kind of hard to get to uh, with the tent being collapsed, but they don't appear to be anything too much just on a glance.
I'm
You
gonna
could
investigate around to see if there's any signs of a struggle or conflict, as if the former inhabitants of this camp were forcibly ejected out, or whether they just left in a hurry and left a bunch of stuff behind.
Roll me an investigation check.
I will do that. And it's a 19.
Well, with a 19, I mean, it looks like this place hasn't been used in a while, at least. Um, no more recently than past 6 months. Uh, but um, I mean, immediately you don't see any signs of a struggle. In fact, the branch that has knocked down the tent appears to just have fallen naturally. It's almost like they disappeared. Plus,
Hmm.
one of the signs you used was the rolled up bedroll in the collapsed tent. It looks like at least one of them was out and about. No scuffs, no body parts, and no marks in the trees.
Um, is there anything that's within the bedroll or anything that Moonsick can feel?
Giving it a little dusty squeeze. Um, you feel that the bedroll is wet and it's like spongy. Um, and kind of like getting more into it, you see that there has been a tear in the tent that water seems to have come through from, but it does not appear like there's anything too terribly of it.
There's a tear back here in this tent, but that could have simply been from when it collapsed.
Possibly from old age, you know. Maybe a branch fell on top of it or something of that nature.
If what One was saying was right, then this has been here for quite a while. Of course, it would be kind of uh, be in disrepair.
That's true. It doesn't look like this thing would be any more. How should I say? This cap is very old. It's quite possibly. It hasn't been touched for maybe over a better part of half a year.
Aside from the supplies that were left here, I can't see any signs of a struggle or a fight or anything. It's very odd.
Very peculiar indeed. I agree.
Soren, this frankly doesn't seem that odd to you. I mean, you have plenty of experience of traveling around and walking and walking and walking, and you have absolutely come across campsites like these. People just up and leaving. You never really
Um,
thought much about it.
kind of during this whole thing while everyone's investigating, Soren's just gonna kind of be off to the side, kind of picking at a tree or just kind of hanging out, waiting for everyone to be done. He's gonna kind of seem indifferent to it, like it's not really important. Whenever you guys are done, I'm ready to go. This doesn't really seem all that mysterious, and he's gonna kind of shake his hands out like he's kind of doing like jazz hands, but like air quotes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
This is kind of
Oh,
normal. I mean, people sometimes just up and leave their things behind. Forget something comes up, they run into something further out, they don't have time to come back. Things happen, things get left
aren't you
behind.
concerned over the fact that there's a copious amount of flammable liquid along with alchemist's fire?
Not really. People have their own business. I don't tend to
Oh, look,
smuggle my way into it.
it's a sketchy group that left in a hurry. Oh no.
That could be all it is. still find it odd, but well, perhaps these people just weren't under the under the knowledge of what they were handling, or maybe they just simply didn't care.
I feel like they did know what they were holding on to. Just looking at everything, seems like they probably knew what the oil was worth.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Don't you find it a little bit odd that only oil was left,
Oil's heavy. Perhaps they.
along with alchemist fire, clearly a very valuable resource?
Again, it's entirely possible that they didn't know what they were handling. Although, if they labeled it, I suppose that just counteracts what I just said. Never mind. Or maybe they were counting on someone coming across it and not knowing what it was and would open it. What would be the point of that? Potentially starting a large fire.
I mean, it has been out here for a while.
Hmm.
If it means we'll start beginning to go back to our camp, I guess I can do this. Soren's gonna walk, or Soren's gonna turn around to a tree. He's gonna put his head against, or like put his hands onto it, and then put his head against it, and he's gonna cast Speak with Plants once again. Take in all of his surroundings, try and put the pieces together.
What are you saying trying to read in the trees?
He's gonna ask the question, which I know we he's gonna kind of say it out loud, but he's gonna say, "What's exactly happened here?"
Um, how would the trees answer this?
I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees.
Yup.
For some
God
fucking
damn it.
reason, there's oil in these.
Oh no!
I got him.
Dawn, stop, we'll get
So
copyrighted.
I am the Borat. That's the
you you gather as you kind of like your eyes follow up the bark of the tree and you look to the starry sky up above you. You see that in the small clearing that the camp has been set up, you see how um, the tree branches have kind of stayed back for a bit. You can see probably a year ago or so, the growth of the branches would suggest that there was more of a large opening centered almost directly underneath the where the campfire once was, and now 6 months or so, probably 6 to 8 months of growth of new branches are starting to now cover the area that the smoke from the campfire once was. Glancing about, you can see a couple of trees off into the distance. That have been chopped down for firewood, and gather that those who were here for a while. And you there is glancing about, you see that there aren't any obvious spots of where the fungi and plants have kind of piled together in clumps that would suggest any bodies or anything like that decomposing. And you get this sense that whoever was here were here for a while and just simply walked away.
As I previously stated, it seems as if they walked away. At least that's what the trees are saying. Or, I guess, the area surrounding.
Fair enough. Well, I'm convinced at least. Weird that it was abandoned, or not abandoned so much so, but just left here. But oh well.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say if that's all that was, then I guess besides the alchemist fire being here, we don't really have any reason to worry.
I have a feeling that they were just perhaps traveling merchants. I mean, oil does sell pretty well.
That's true.
Yeah, but if it does well and it's worth something, why would they leave it behind if they were a merchant?
I guess that's a mystery left to time. Lost to time.
I'm gonna fill my antique flasks with these oil kerosene because I can.
Is there
I mean,
a way
like,
to seal up the barrels so that they're tight
They
and
would.
safe?
They were sealed until a wind chime broke into them. So, but yeah, you'd easily be able to hammer it back into place, the top.
How heavy are they?
Oil barrels are like coated in something, I think, that would
I think.
that would make it so that you could seal them again.
Okay.
Like, and not drip.
After sealing them, how heavy are they?
Barrels of oil are heavy.
Are we talking over 500 pounds or not?
Oddly specific question for an oddly specific
about 300 pounds, so under 500.
So I'm going to put a barrel of oil in my bag of holding.
A barrel of oil is 35 imperial gallons.
So she's just gonna struggle to put it in the bag of holding, and then eventually, I now have a barrel of holding.
I mean,
A barrel of holding?
A barrel of holding. Yep.
You have a barrel of holding. Let's go.
A barrel of oil in my bag
300
of holding.
pounds of oil.
How much? It's even. You said that there's a battering ram in there as well.
A little tight right now. The battering ram isn't that big. It's like a hand one.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I still imagine it's decently heavy. Well,
It's not light.
are we planning to sell that oil then when we reach Nicodranas?
Oh, I'm planning on making a bomb.
Oh.
okay.
You never know when adventuring. You might just need to place a large barrel of oil and drop it into your enemies to just amplify the fiery goodness.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Mind if I hold on to the alchemist's fire?
Like perhaps infiltrating an enemy's stronghold and creating a lot of confusion and chaos within the first moment.
Exactly.
All of you guys concern me to no limited extent.
Good.
Edward,
Also,
I literally
let
found
me
a
just say-
jar of oil at that tree today.
Did you hand him the alchemist's fire?
Did he want it? I offered it out to anybody to take. I don't remember if anybody took it.
Well, Edward asked for it. That's the only reason I asked.
Okay, yeah. She'll definitely give it.
Edward, as you to grab hold of this alchemist fire, it does not look like how you imagined it. The bottle is a little too ornate. It looks like it's a screw top.
So it's Fireball whiskey.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like how you would imagine Alchemist Fire to look.
Come on, baby, Alchemist Fire.
I have added that into my bag. This will probably become useful later, I guarantee it. If it won't, then I will make it useful.
Or 6 more coils of rope and another barrel if you want to take that. Otherwise, we can head out.
Coils of rope.
Moonzik
took the
Moonzik will
barrel of
take
oil,
the
right?
coils of rope. Why not?
Oh, never mind. Okay.
I have a barrel of oil. I have gotten what I want.
You
Either
carrying all of this rope is quite heavy. With all of this length of rope, it's gotta weigh 60 pounds.
Is it too much for the handy haversack?
No. But you just recognize how heavy it is as you're packing it.
Fair.
This is still a very suspicious amount of rope.
Well, it's a very suspicious amount of rope that we have in our possession. And we're not going to elaborate if anybody asks us why we have that many.
Read.
That we do.
Okay. As you all finish up at the campsite and head back to your own. Who's staying up for watches?
Moonzik's gonna vie for last watch.
I think you stayed up long enough. I think we can have you rest for the whole night through.
I would love to sleep. Of course, if anything happens, wake me up.
Of course. Edward will take first watch.
Anybody with Edward?
What?
Anybody with Edward? Taking a watch with Edward?
One time we'll take the watch. 2.
Okay.
And Soren will do second watch.
Good night, everyone. Sleep tight. We'll keep an eye out on things.
All right.
As you all bed down for the night. Edward and Windchime, please roll me your perception checks for the evening.
Looking out into the night. with my eyeballs.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good perception.
20 and 15.
2015. What?
Yeah, that.
I can see things in the night.
Okay. You guys sit down at the campfire and keep watch.
Everything's quiet.
Everything so far, everything is quiet, but it's gonna give you guys an opportunity to roleplay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, today you were sent on a task of finding food, but I think you found something far more interesting. Not
Friendship.
I mean, even if it turned out to be nothing, and even if Soren did just, you know, even if Soren did just tell us that it was just some random camp with no significance, I felt like the magic of finding it itself is more so. Well, more so the fact that we
Yeah.
found something that we wanted to look at.
Yeah, it was fun. We don't usually come across stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I really wonder what kind of people used to live there. I mean, not like live there permanently, but they definitely stayed there for a while. They were doing something suspicious.
Probably trying to burn down the forest, if you ask me. But my guess is as good as another.
What kind of suspicious stuff would we leave behind if we just abandoned a camp like that? Like we just disappeared into thin air.
I mean, I can tell you the stuff we left. We left 2 corpses marked on the grave of the tree.
Well, I mean, we buried those, right?
Right, but it's still 2 corpses that we left.
Huh.
Huh.
Well, I mean, we
did
didn't.
do that, didn't we?
At least we didn't find any skeletons in this camp. That would have been scary.
I mean, yeah, it's true, but then again, they're just skeletons and not very strong. I mean,
You
honestly,
underestimate skeletons, Edward.
legends say that right now inside of you there is a spooky, scary skeleton hiding within you all along.
No, get back. I'm kidding. I know about skeletons. I know anatomy.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing, is once you know something, it's not very scary anymore. Now, if we had no reason for skeletons to start becoming animated, and we knew nothing about necromantic magic, and all of the processes that is required in order to do that, skeletons themselves would be really, really scary. But now that we know why they're there and why they exist, they're not.
But I know the spell.
You know what I mean?
I could bring a skeleton back to life if I really wanted to, and it's a spooky feeling to have that kind of power. Like, if I found a skeleton, I could bring it back to life and name him Clackle Bones or something, and make him do like tap dancing. Edward, are you scared?
Rocky?
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 Ow.
Rocky, if you're talking, we can't hear you. Uh-oh.
His skeleton left his body.
Oh no.
Wind chime. Oh, while he's doing this thing. You feel a warmth.
Yeah?
Like the center of your chest.
Right now.
Right now.
Interesting. Does it look like it's glowing if she, looks down?
No, but you can feel it.
Mm. She puts her hand over her heart and, tries to listen to her body to see what it's trying to tell her.
As you place your hand over your heart and kind of like glance up, trying to feel your body, you see a shooting star.
Ooh.
And the warmth fades.
Huh. Did you see that? Okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Did you see the shooting star?
Only briefly.
It was so pretty. Sometimes it seems like the stars are trying to send me messages.
What do you think they're trying to say?
I don't know, but I was thinking a lot about skeletons right now, and so
Maybe it's your skeleton inside of you trying to tell you something. Who knows?
oh, that's spooky. I don't think it's not coming from my skeleton. It's coming from my star.
Do you have a particular connection to celestial bodies?
I have a star in my chest.
Have we not known about this? Is this like a birthmark? Was this like a boon from a deity? What is this?
No, it's like a real star. I found it when I was little. It fell from the sky. And now I have it. And it tells me things. But I don't really talk about it because it's kind of weird. People don't really understand.
Yeah, I would assume so. It's not something you could just drop in the start of a conversation saying, "Hey, I have a star in my chest. How are you doing?"
Yeah. What were you thinking about when you were zoning out staring at the woods just now?
I don't know. Sometimes I get lost in thought.
Mm. Have you talked to your parents lately?
No, but I should.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. And I'm going to cast Sending.
Too.
This time I got 2 spell slots, so 1 to my mom, 1 to my dad.
Okay.
I'm gonna send to my mom saying, "Hi, Mom, it's me, Edward. I had fried fish for dinner, and the group and I have been traveling along. We're doing good, and hope you get out of there soon."
Uh, you hear in your mother's voice, "Oh, Edward, so happy to hear from you. I just finished eating dinner with your father. I am happy that you're doing well. I don't think it will be long now. I love you."
And I think that's the furthest extent of what my first sending can do. Second sending to my dad, I'm going to say, "Hi, Dad. I heard from Mum that you just ate dinner. What kind of food do you have in there? Are you? I hear you're getting close to coming out of there. I hope I can see you soon."
Edward, I don't remember his voice. Edward, Edward, yes, we had some sort of tuber. Um, Not exactly sure what its species is, but we've been calling it thistlebit. I think he's out of words. Hello?
I can hear you.
I'm waiting for Rocky.
Rock.
Wait, hang on. And he's back. Rocky?
Oh boy.
This is fun.
I think Edward is having some issues.
He's in shock.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh.
there he is.
I've got connectivity issues because Toronto Rogers outage. Anyway, I'm gonna say, Windshot, I'm gonna say, well, apparently my parents are doing fine. Apparently
Uh-oh.
You cut out.
they have a weird tuber that's thistlebit. I'm not really quite sure what that is, but
Thistlebutt.
again, I have no clue what it is. I've never heard of a thistlebit.
It sounds like a plant.
I'd imagine that's what tubers are. Categorization of plants. But it's good to know that at least they have food to eat.
Mm-hmm. And did they say where they were exactly? In the portal?
No, not really. I can tell they're not really keen to tell me where exactly they are, sort of besides trapped in some sort of pseudo dimension.
Hmm. Um. Well, at least they're okay.
Yeah,
I've,
that's all
I've
that's
been to reach out to my parents, but it's kind of late. They're probably in bed right now. I should wait till tomorrow.
Yes, I suppose so.
They go to sleep so early.
Yeah,
Universal parents thing.
well, either way, I'm assuming, well, they don't share the obligation of adventurers to stay up and take watches late into odd hours into the night, so I'm assuming that's the normal person's sleep schedule, at least. If you know what I
Hmm.
mean.
What happens if you send to somebody and they're asleep? Does it wake them up or do they just dream about it?
Emily, would I know what happens if I send somebody to their sleep?
Yeah, you would think that it would just wake them up. Or they could just sleep through it if they really didn't want to. Like akin to the feeling of because with sending they can choose to respond or not to. So I would imagine it's just like talking but in your brain, right? You're not like getting an insight. If they are awake and conscious, you would assume it'd be like somebody talking to you. But like, if you ever been so tired that somebody could be saying something to you and you just can't respond,
Yeah. Alright,
or it
so
could
that's
be like,
similar to that effect, right?
well, like, or you could choose to wake up and comprehend.
Yeah. Well, as far as I know for sending, it's like talking to them next to them. They could choose to listen to you or they could choose not to if they're too tired to do anything, but otherwise that's it. It's not
It's
much
like,
different from being able to just say whatever it is you want to say next to them.
uh, okay. So there are manners involved. I understand.
Something to that effect, exactly. Yes.
Okay. Anything else for your encounter tonight that you'd like to discuss?
I don't think so.
In that case, it is Brian, were you planning on taking the second watch or the third?
Second.
Okay. Then it's time for you to wake up Soren and Brian. As you go and jostle the two of them awake.
Of course, I'm awake. I'm awake. I could see you coming. Nothing eventful on watch, I presume?
No,
Okay.
no. It's been so quiet. There was a shooting star. That
Ooh.
was, you
Hopefully
should have
the hopefully the good weather continues.
yeah. I'm gonna hit the hay.
Emily, please roll to see what kind of weather we get throughout the rest of the night.
Okay. Wind chime hits the stack, rolling it next to her girly friend.
You hear some
The
giggling.
girly.
Okay. Soren and Brian, you find yourself sitting at the campfire, beginning your watches. Please roll me a perception check.
All right. That's persuasion, not perception. I'm an idiot.
Oh, that's funny though.
Yeah, I persuaded the DM to look the other way at my roll.
No, you persuaded the DM to roll for weather.
That would have been a nat 20 on perception.
Yeah,
Hell, you're throwing.
Hey, I actually still got a good one.
Nice throw.
Kill, you're throwing.
As you begin,
Y'all are nuts.
I'm scared.
you begin to sit at the fire. you noticed how cold your fingers and toes had gotten, uh, while Brian, you notice how cold your fingers and toes have gotten while trancing for the night, and how nice it feels to be warmed up by the fire.
Nice. It's a beautiful night.
What? Oh, yeah, it definitely is. It's gonna look up at the stars. If you can see any, that is.
There are stars in the sky.
Are you okay, man?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I just have a lot on my mind right now. I still think we should have buried that other body, but I'm not gonna fight you guys on that.
Not like we enjoy carrying it around. It's proof of what we need.
I feel like we still could have gotten our evidence with just the weapons alone.
Helpful. I mean, we're adventurers. Weapons are kind of our deal. But I don't love that either. If it's any consolation, if I could have thought of another way, I would have. But, you have any ideas as to how they knew where we were? That concerns me more than anything else.
Well, I'm. There's always the chance that magic, of course. Otherwise, they could have also been lying in wait with, say, some sort of. He's gonna like do air quotes, alarm spell. They could also be spying on us somehow. Or they could have gotten a hold of Moonzig's friend, but I'd rather not say that to his face.
Read on that
That's,
last part.
yeah, that last part might be a little bad.
I think we all knew that last one, but I don't think any of us wanted to think about it. It's really cold out here. Fire is nice and all, but I don't know, I just got a chill down my back.
I get those quite often, actually. And he's gonna nuzzle. He's gonna nuzzle Freya.
This feels familiar.
All right, relax. She is one for the cold.
Huh?
You did say, or that's not correct. You know a lot about the Feywild, correct?
Comparatively to our group, yeah. Comparatively to what I probably should as a denizen there. Well, there was a reason why they, I am not there anymore. Bit of a misfit there.
Then do you mind if I ask you a question about it?
Shoot.
Earlier you said that the Feywild is based on how you are feeling, but like your movement and whatnot. If you can move light on your feet, you feel good, you feel great. But if you're not, you move slower, correct?
A little more complex than that. But in essence, yes, your emotions influence can have very real influence on the Feywild and vice versa.
I guess it was more of a clarification, not a question. I just wanted to clarify that. Just curiosity and all.
The the best way I could explain it is there is a geography to the Feywild, right? There's an area that will be positive whether you're negative or not, and the world will be mostly the same for you and your friends, but certain aspects will be changed.
Interesting. That place is very brightly colored.
No, I have a theory. One I don't think many people would subscribe to, but one I believe. I think colors come from the Feywild. I think that's where they're from. And that they bleed out through the planes to the material one. I think magic might do that too, to be honest. There's an event in history where so much magic was infused and the gods of Exandra was got into a war, and it was called the Calamity. But a lot of what I see from the magic around that time was far beyond anything I can think even the highest level spell could cast. We still have artifacts of magic from that time that allow ships to fly through the sky. I think when the gods were sealed away, we accidentally sealed some of the magic away too. through the plains. And that implies, to me at least, that it's not native.
Don't you get your magic from a god? Or, I guess it's not a god, from what I've heard.
Kind of, yeah. But I think that leaves credence to it being magic seeping out from another plane, not removing it. Does that make sense?
Not in the slightest.
Maybe I'm bad at explaining my theory. There are smarter people with probably better theories, but magic was so everywhere in the Feywild. The world kind of feels empty, even with the magic that is around without it.
Once we're done saving Allfield, I wouldn't mind giving it a visit. You could give me a tour.
Well, we know how to get there. Maybe sometime. Hopefully sometime soon.
I should probably tell you this now, because this will be happening tomorrow, but I will not be accompanying you guys into the corn of whatever it was called. I can go take care of the horses while you guys do that, but I do not want to go with you guys there.
Into the Clovis Concord office?
Yes, I'd rather keep my distance from there.
Understood. You might not want to enter the town with us, then. You will be pretty immediately looking to
I mean, we
talk
can
to the
always
guard.
split. We can always split after the gate. It's not that I don't want to be seen with you guys, it's just
No, I
I don't.
understand.
Thank you. I'm glad you do. But I'm sure I don't know how everyone else will feel.
I'm sure they'll understand too. You didn't agree with us taking the bodies in the first place, right?
Okay. Anything else between the two of you?
No.
Then as you finish up your long rest, you wake up Nahiri and Moonzik.
Oh, I feel so much better.
Yeah, I would too, having gone that long without sleep. Or quality sleep, at least.
How was your quality of sleep while you were traveling with us?
I mean, not really that much different than when I was at, traveling with the circus, except I've got wind chime next to me, so I suppose that's a plus.
I'd imagine that's a pretty big plus, being able to sleep next to the one that you love.
A bed is nice too. Well, anyway, watches. Can you roll me a perception check,
And that's a straight roll this time. I don't have to roll with disadvantage. Fuck!
please? You find sleep heavy in your eyes.
That's fair.
I don't have to roll with disadvantage. Fuck!
So, anyway, Prince Moonzik,
I prefer not to be called
have you,
Prince either.
being that, what, say it again? I'm sorry, I was talking and you're mumbling.
I said I'd prefer not to be called Prince.
Alright,
But
see, for some reason the wind blew really hard and I couldn't quite understand you again.
huh. Said I'd prefer not to be called Prince.
All
Oh.
right, that's wonderful.
The wind is really, really loud right now.
God fucking damn it. Again with this?
Through the wind, I hear God fucking damn it.
Why is it doing this again?
I can hear you. Now I can't hear
No,
you.
I'm not talking
Apparently,
right now.
the wind only lets me hear your swear.
I'm not talking right now. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything I can do to try
Yeah,
and
that tracks.
am I still cutting out?
I don't know what you did to piss her off.
Am I coming through? Hello?
And you're losing every second word.
God damn it. Why is this happening? Hello? Hello?
Hello there.
Am I coming through? Okay. Am I...
You are.
Okay. If that keeps up, I'm going to have to discontinue the stream. But
And it's keeping up.
I'm going to try taking off the stream then. Sorry, everyone, if this is the end of the stream, but quality of the session's got to come first. And then if this is all that it is, then hopefully I'll just be able to edit this part out. As it stands, I am not live on Twitch anymore.
Can we just take a break here?
We could. I gotta make dinner anyway.
Hello?
Hello? I'm talking.
Oh, I really wanted to walk you guys through Nicodranas and then take a break, but it's fine. I was trying to listen to his stream at the same time and then I muted myself on my computer and then I didn't realize that I was talking because I'm stupid. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a break here then.
Okay. We
Everybody
will
try
be
and
back
fix up
shortly for
their
part 2.
internet. And
Grab